Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Lovers Rock, part of the Small Axe series on Amazon Prime, written and directed by Steve McQueen. Amazing director, an amazing series so far. This is the second in the series of films. This one is shorter of the films. It's only 70 minutes long. Takes place in West London, 1981. The series is really chronicling Steve McQueen's past as a West Indian in London, and covering the different aspects of it, different aspects of racial tension, equality, the inequality, the abuse of the time, which is very poignant considering in America in 2020, there is still many of the same things going on. I talked about Mangrove in the last week's episode. Amazing film. This one, Lovers Rock, is very much different. It's not really a movie about anything. It's kind of a slice of life. Not that it's not about anything. It's about these blues parties that were held in homes, which is cool. I mean, this is a very, very movie about mood, about vibe, very much about music as well. Slice of life of what it was like for this community of people, how they would get together and socialize and escape the dangerous world, the violent world that surrounds them, whether it's the threat of police brutality or the threat of racial discrimination and violence from other people, the white people of London. This was kind of their escape, their way of finding a world within a world. And it's a house party. Movie starts off, you're seeing everybody prepare for the house party. People are moving furniture out of the living room, setting up the amps and the mixers and the record player, the DJ setup. You got all the women in the kitchen making the food, singing songs. Everybody's happy that they're having this party, that they're getting set up for this party. And you see, there's moments where you see kind of the outside negativity, the outside danger, the potential for danger, but it's never really explicitly highlighted in this film as much as it was in Mangrove. Mangrove being a courtroom drama, far more pointed, far more kind of different messages going on. This one is very much, it's almost like a palate cleanser, I would say, in this series. You have the powerful storytelling and messages of Mangrove, and then it kind of leads you into this kind of cool, chill vibe. It's like the other side of what it was like to be West Indian in London during these decades where this series takes place. And this was their escape. This was how they would let loose and enjoy each other with everybody that's familiar with their culture. The music is amazing, kind of that kind of dance hall, reggae, ska kind of a feel. I mean, just their language and everything is very very much in that same vibe. So I love that. The camera floats through this party. Once the party gets going and you kind of see, once you kind of like see and you kind of feel what this movie is about, you can kind of sink into it, let it settle in, know that you're not really, there's no real protagonist, no real antagonist. The antagonists are all outside of this party, even though there's still some evil that comes inside, because humans, evil in humans is not something that it's not something that white dudes have a monopoly on. People are assholes no matter how much or little melanin you have in your skin. But it is very much a different kind of just just a more of a, when you don't have the external threat that brings everybody together, some people just want to let it all burn or cause trouble, as it were. Um, so it was great. It was kind of the camera going through the music, the dancing. There's an amazing a cappella scene where it's like this big living room, big house, big living room, and it was cool that to. I'll go back to the a cappella scene, but like the all the food and things that they were setting up, it's all like they sold it. There were concessions that they were making to sell people, and it was like a little business also to have this kind of. It's almost like a nightclub slash restaurant inside of a house. So very similar in some ways to Mangrove, them wanting to open up a restaurant. This one is more of a self-contained thing where they were, just anybody in that community could come over. I don't remember if they were paying a cover charge or not, but they were definitely charging for concessions, which I thought was a fun kind of interesting aspect to it. But going back to this living room, you got the DJ set up. You got it's like a big dance hall. There's different parts of the house you can go hang out. You can go outside they move the couch outside so you can go hang out outside, chill outside. You got all these different places in the house, but the living room, the main space was their dance hall place. And there's a part of the movie where the music cuts out and everybody's still dancing, still vibing. It's very sexy. There's a lot of very sexy moments in this movie as well, but it's this really cool moment where the music cuts out and then everybody just kind of keeps singing the song that had been playing and to just keep dancing. They didn't want the dancing to stop. So they kept the song going through themselves. And apparently that scene was improvised. It was not initially in the script from what I've heard. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But it's a cool scene. There's a lot of kind of just cool, like just the overall mood and the overall energy of the film I enjoyed watching. And towards the end, like I kept waiting for like maybe something crazy is going to happen to make this movie be about something. It never really was. It's all mood. But there are moments where there's spoilers. If you can spoil this movie, but one of the negative things is there's this scene where party goers coming and going, guys hooking up with chicks looking for guys, all this kind of shit, and which can happen in any situation where there's it's following, the camera's following a character and they're going outside and they see that somebody's being sexually assaulted outside, and that kind of gets broken up. It's kind of the first. I believe it's kind of the first scene where there's really a tension and a negative energy in the movie. But that gets broken up. It's like later in the party, people are starting to get drunk. You got people coming in angry. They're the angry drunk. There's like this family kind of tension, which, none of this stuff really plays into anything, but it's just kind of these things that even though they're on this island, this like metaphorical island where they're able to party and just kind of let loose uh with being themselves and kind of not having to think about the world around them, but they're still assholes in the world. And there's the family drama, of course, that there's scenes where they look outside or people are walking outside and they see like a group of white dudes that's like, there's that potential for danger there. You see a scene where a cop drives by and there's like, they kind of have to kind of close the front of the house down a bit. Like it's not anything like super implicit. There's nothing that really happens with those moments, but those moments, because the movie is so much of a positive vibe and just so mellow, that those dangerous moments, those aggravating moments, they really kind of shine. So I enjoyed the movie. It's probably between this one and Mangrove. From what I've also heard, this one's like the least well received because he was trying to kind of elicit a feeling of nostalgia with this movie. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the vibe. I enjoyed kind of sitting in it for. It's only 70 minutes long, so that helps too. If this was like even a 90-minute movie, which is a short runtime for a film, is very much more of a short film, kind of just experimental. Less plot, more mood, and I enjoyed the mood and the vibe, and it still expressed that tension in a way, from a different kind of perspective and an interesting slice of life. So check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. That's right. If you don't have Prime, sign up through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Prime. You get 30 days free if you want to watch this series of films. I think there's five or six films. Small Axe, AXE, on Amazon Prime. This one's called Lovers Rock. And next week, I'll be talking about the next installment, which off the top of my head, I do not know the name of. But you will know next week. Get yourself 2 free audiobooks through Audible when you go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Audible. That gives you 1 free book per month if you stay with the service, but 2 free books when you sign up through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Audible. Get your books, get Audible originals, guided wellness programs, news, and so much more. Get your 2 free books now when you sign up through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Audible. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com, and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!